Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we're discussing a 2023 model year launch from Patek Philippe. It is the Pilot Travel Time Chronograph, reference 5924G-010. There is also a blue dialed version of this, but both are in white gold, really gray gold. More on that in a moment. I think this might be the most versatile watch Patek Philippe makes. But fit comes first, and the fit starts with a 42mm case diameter. It's 13.2mm thick from lug tip to lug tip, 51.8mm. It has a 21mm spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and I feel like this fits me well. This does feel comfortable. You can see down the barrel, the lugs are at the edge of my wrist, but not beyond it. You can see the same from over the top if I don't pull the strap so darn tight. In profile, you can see it's neither thick nor thin, but it'll fit jacket cuffs for sure. Maybe not the tightest of dress sleeves. The timepiece is substantial, and I'm going to recommend that if your wrist is my size or larger, it's going to wear just fine. This feels secure. I think this looks good proportionally. We can move out a bit more to show that to better advantage. But if your wrist is smaller than mine, look where those lugs are. That's right on the edge. You're going to have to go with a smaller watch if your wrist is under 16 centimeters circumference. The strap is calfskin. It's what Patek Philippe describes as olive vintage style calfskin, and the vintage style is that of an aviator. We've got this sort of fine grain with a little bit of a contrasting stitch, a cross hatching, some bolstering or stuffing to add thickness. You can see the shear cuts of the leather in profile, lacquered for refinement. This contrasting stitch on slightly distressed calfskin grain is a very 20th century aviation aesthetic. You can see the same on the other side of the strap, which is calf top and bottom. You can see the latest pull tabs spring bars, so you can pop the strap off the case without tools. So not only do we have that aviator style contrasting crosshatch in the stitching, we've got the Clevis style white gold pin buckle that Patek reserves for its Calatrava pilot style watches. It's designed to look like the hardware on a vintage aviator's jacket. Now, of course, the timepiece features a very simple case, to be perfectly honest. The lugs are integrated into the case band. We have these little pushers here that allow you to adjust the local hour hand, so you can adjust that local time separately from the reference time, which is the skeletonized hand. You can see there's an AM/PM indicator for both your local time and your home time. So if you wish, you can superimpose these two 12-hour hands, clean up the dial so it's less busy, but still have AM/PM distinction for both time zones. So you can have them both in the same 12-hour format and still know whether you're looking at day or night in those two places. These crowns do look a little bit like the ones on the 5524. It's important to note that unlike those, these do not turn. These are conventional chronograph triggers here. So I can start or stop my chrono. We got a vertical clutch here and a column wheel. So it's a very crisp feel and sound thanks to the column wheel. Thanks to the vertical clutch, you'll note the chronograph starts with zero jump or stagger. A vertical clutch is utterly seamless, and you can leave it running full time because there's no additional hazard, wear, and tear from running your vertical clutch chrono full time. Now, it's also a flyback. Watch this. I can reset and restart, and that's ideal. A flyback chronograph is ideal if you want to time events that occur in rapid succession where you might not have time to stop, reset, and restart. The flyback does it all in one stroke. Now, if you look down at the bottom of the dial, there's a register for the chronograph minutes, and you'll note it's a 60-minute register, which I actually find more useful than chronograph 30-minute registers. 30 minutes is very common, but the 60 is more useful. We've got a pointer-style date up at the top, and we'll do a loom shot now. You can see the numerals in the hands. They're white gold. They're also robustly loomed, and we're going to see just how robustly now. No shortage whatsoever. The dial is a very dark olive metallic sunburst, and then we've got a chemin de fer, or a railroad track outboard, for reading minutes, seconds, and fractions of seconds. It's also a nicely balanced dial. You can split it top to bottom or side to side, cruciform symmetry. You can also see that we've got a Calatrava cross on the case. I mentioned gray gold in previous reviews, and I'll explain here. Gray gold is a type of 18-karat white gold alloy that never needs to be rhodium plated. It's white all the way through. It is a homogeneous material, and it is a little bit darker in color than rhodium plated white gold, but it's also considered to be more premium, which is why Patek, Greubel Forsey, Jaeger-LeCoultre, Rolex, and many others prefer gray gold, which is what we have right here. Turn it over now. It's a version of the 28520. Automatic winding, unidirectional winding action, ceramic bearings for higher efficiency of winding, 55-hour power reserve, 6-position adjusted, 34 joules, 4 hertz beat rate, free-sprung gyromax style balance, anti-magnetic spiromax style hairspring. The column wheel is a weird one for the chronograph. You can see it's almost like a flattened column wheel. In fact, it could almost be described as a hybrid of a column wheel and a cam, but the feel and the sound is very much that of a column wheel. The movement's 30 millimeters in diameter, so it nicely fills this case back. You could see things like the jewel sinks, the screw sinks, the edges of the bridges, they're all beautifully beveled. We have engine turning on the base plate, polished screw heads with chamfered slots and circumference. You can see the chronograph material where it's visible, the chronograph levers, horns, and apparatus, including the set spring. Those are all satinated on their top, beveled on their side. You can see several sizes of engine-turned perlage on the base plates and the subordinate bridges. Patek Philippe seal on a movement like this means accurate to no worse than -1 + 2 seconds per 24 hours. Although the Spiromax silicone hairspring is often known for its anti-magnetism, because of the way it's profiled via deep reactive ion etching, it's also able to breathe concentrically like an overcoil despite being thin and flat like a flat hairspring. The gyromax style balance, an age-old Patek Philippe engineering tradition dating back to the early 50s, makes precise adjustment by the screws on the balance rim easier, and it also is more shock resistant, so it will not change its timing orientation under concussion or bumps. To be perfectly honest, a movement like this from Patek is going to be a mix of manual finishing and also machine finishing, but it is a judicious blend that is persuasive and appealing. Now, the watch is 30 meters water resistant, which Patek lately describes as sufficient for actual swimming. So confirm with your Patek dealer if that is the case, but that is what they're saying now, which would mean on a different strap, you can take this watch swimming, making a flyback chronograph travel time, date, automatic, highly loomed pilot's watch, perhaps the most versatile Patek in existence. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.